So the party had traveled to the planet of the world of Darmood at the behest of one Kashad the Magnificent, a great and gregarious fire djinn, who was currently in the possession of the Jewel of Life. I think is what I called it. Yep.
Jim.
The Gem of Life. He is currently allowing the librarian to take it off of him, but unfortunately, he had lost possession of it. Uh, you have tracked uh, you have followed his agents, Kashad's agents, to the lair of the thief, who is one the scientist by the name of Ivor. He has stolen the gem and is using it to create his own monstrosities, which he has hoped to overthrow Kashad with. Uh, whether or not Kashad is aware of that does not seem to be the case. Um, However, you have traveled through the wastelands to the entrance of Ivor's territory, where you have met with Kashad's agent. You have found him in a small little earthen hut while he is hiding away in his little genie lamp in the middle of it. He has kind of graciously provided you with details around the surrounding area and the entrance to Ivor's lair, which is backed up into this massive, big Grand Canyon-like cliff face. That's about the only feature around here. He's got a cave system that he's dug back into, where he's kind of barricaded himself into. Uh, you have discovered that Ivor has been letting a couple of his monstrosities free and roam the area. You've encountered some of those already, um, but you know that he is using those to defend the outside of his lair, and surely has more monstrosities within. Uh, so, y'all are sitting still here within the stone hut, gathered around the Jin's lamp. Uh, and you never did bother to give his name. Uh,
Oh no, you did.
I did.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. Okay, I did give him a name. I am normally. I will admit I am somewhat terrible with names, so thank you for reminding me.
No
I had
problem.
Ezekiel written down, and I just couldn't remember who it was. I think we have some technical issues. Real quick, but yeah, Shocklin Roll, y'all are sitting around the Shin's lamp.
All right. Zeke, what can you tell me about this mega worm?
Well, my master thought that it would be a good idea to aerate the soil. You know, earthworms do it in gardens, so why not make a big one for the planet? It'd be a good idea, right? Well, it works. It aerates the soil and everything on top of the soil, and so you kind of had to shoo it to the outer reaches of the world for now until we can find a more suitable use for it slash way to deal with it.
All I'm
Uh,
thinking is
Ivor has had some interest in some of these creatures out here, as he's been using those for the basis of his own mutations and additions.
I see.
Uh, the worm may be one of his targets he is after.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about the only other reason to be out here. It's the location's not exactly scenic.
Yeah, I mean, so we got to go in this cave system. It's dark, I assume. Yeah.
Uh, well, the entrance used to be part of a mining complex when we tried to resettle this area a couple years, well, decades ago at this point. There's not much left of the settlement, only just a couple of walls and some random pieces. But Ivor has taken the remains of that and tunneled backwards into the old mining system. He has probably enlarged or slash made some modifications to it, but is probably mostly following the existing infrastructure.
Is there anywhere we could get a map of that mining structure before we just kind of run in? My experience with mines is that they are mazes in certain ways. It's easy to get lost.
Hmm. One moment. Let me draw something real quick. I unfortunately do not have a visual for you,
Oh no,
but
no, that's just more for really trying to make sure we don't get lost while we're in there.
But as after a few moments, the little lamp in the middle rattles, and in a cloud of feathers, out pops a rather kerfuffled-looking goose, and it just kind of, and it has a little it digs into its feathers, pulls out a piece of paper, and passes it to you.
Okay, good. I thought the goose was gonna lead us for a second, and I was not okay with that.
The goose kind of looks at you madly like that. Uh,
No, no offense, no offense. Just
but this is the map has, like I said, it's got the entrance to the canyonway. You can see the old mine structure and a path kind of, it just kind of goes straight back into the rock face. There's an area where it cuts off where uh, Ezekiel hasn't been able to get much further into the area past there. That's the extent he's been able to explore. And it seems like Ivor's made some additions on that portion of the map that he doesn't quite have covered yet.
Okay.
Well, if you have any other questions, Jeremy here can help you. Says Jeremy the Goose.
okay. I have quite a few questions about Jeremy, but I don't think it's the time or the place for those questions.
I've never seen a familiar before.
Yes, yes, that's a good point. Yeah.
This is my familiar. And I turn to the giant horse standing behind me.
Yes, yes, that's kind of nice. A bit impractical. I don't know how you keep that one in a bottle.
Not everybody keeps their familiars in a bottle.
Well, where else do you keep them?
I point to the pseudo dragon on my shoulder.
A lot of people seem outside of the Gen folk like to have what we call free range familiars. They let them roam around in case they ever need to eat them.
Well, that seems rather barbaric. Poor Jeremy.
Stomps at the.
Also, most people don't live in lamps, but whatever. Hey, well, appreciate it, Zeke. I guess we're gonna go and kick down the doors of this mine shaft and go kill Dr. Ivor, right? And get the gym back.
Yep, that's all I'm here for. Once you're done, I'll stay here and I'll continue doing what I'm doing.
Wait, was murder a necessary component for this one? I know it happened on the last one, and it was give or take. This one, it's a requirement, yes?
It's not necessary.
Okay.
Kashad just wants Ivor to just quit what he's doing. That's it.
Rugged told me to break this guy's back, and I plan to.
He is kind of a dick.
Yeah.
You know, that whole megalomania, I want to take over the world thing, and he kind of rubs some people the wrong way.
I can break his dick too. Really, whatever works. I mean,
You know, it's kind of hard to be friends with a guy who doesn't stop monologuing all the time.
always one of
Yeah.
those.
Oh, good lord, I used to work with the man. It's fucking torture for 30 freaking centuries.
Shockland's gonna look at him and go, just to be sure, since Jeremy is going to be guiding us around, does he prefer wheat or rye?
It's best to give him wheat. Rye gives him gas. You don't want him when he's gassy.
Understood. We'll keep it to wheat liquor and not rye liquor.
Jeremy, you don't get into trouble out there now. And, well, let me know how it goes, gentlemen.
I go to pick Jeremy up. Yeah, and I try to put him on my shoulder, like Akaram has his pseudo dragon on his shoulders. This is good.
Jeremy just kind of shrugs and just, I guess this is the culture. And he hops on. You now have the equivalent of a Canadian goose on your shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big boy. He can fit there. Yeah. Trust me, it's better than the other option. And I point towards Winifred riding Colt. You don't want me riding you, little buddy. Yeah.
The goose just kind of looks at this quizzically, looks at you, looks at Winifred, looks at the horse, looks at himself, looks at Raoul. It just nods.
Yeah.
It just points off into the distance.
Shockland's just like, should I tell the goose that I can make it big?
I could ride a giant goose.
Terrifying. Simply terrifying.
Question is, will the giant goose fit in the mine at that point?
These are not things the DM has considered, but might have to. All right, continuing on.
So yeah, we just well, I guess we follow Jeremy, right?
Yep, Jeremy is the goose. He kind
Yeah, we
of
follow-
points you off towards the cliff face. As you're approaching, you see littered kind of stretched across the couple of football field lengths are a number of like odd decaying mounds of just like massive little mushroom growths, just kind of like dotting the landscape as you're approaching the entrance of this canyon. Jeremy kind of just kind of nudges you to give him a bit of a wide berth. But they don't seem to necessarily be hostile or doing anything, though. You do see that a couple of them are kind of moving, though. Um,
Um.
but these seem to be very much more kind of similar to the mushrooms that you saw coming out of the rat creature. Which, speaking of which, you actually see a couple of those hanging around the edges of the canyon. Um, they're kind of they see you coming and are kind of like regarding you from a distance, but they don't seem to want to come up and approach y'all at all. They're kind of keeping their distances, like scavengers watching for who knows what.
Should have kept one of the other one's skulls. That way we could make them know who to fear us.
I think
I
they
mean,
might have gotten the message, but they don't seem to want to interfere. Like I said, they just kind of back up onto the rocks around the cliff face on either side of the canyon and just kind of watch and observe.
to be fair, most of them didn't quite have skulls left when we finished with them.
No,
So,
they don't.
Dynamite will do that.
I would assume that the fungus that is infecting them has some sort of sentience, so I'm pretty sure they know.
All right.
But yeah, he guides you up to the. Jeremy kind of points you up to the mouth of this canyon, and it's kind of a little, more like a little crack in the wall. You can see further beyond where it would open up into a small area, but there's kind of like a small winding 30-yard wide corridor that goes into this rock face that goes up. If you're looking up it, it's about let's say 100 feet up, tall cliff face that you're staring at. But as you're coming up, who's up in the front, and what's your
Do,
perception?
do we still have a
Probably me.
wagon, or are we walking?
Shockland has your wagon unless he wants to be stealthy.
Wagon can hover, it don't make noise.
All right, so yeah, you can ride the wagon.
I'll be up at the front.
All right.
Then I'll head up the rear.
Do you want my passive perception or active?
What's your passive actually?
My passive is 20. I can roll it if I need to go higher.
Okay, I just no, you don't need to. No, with the 20 passive perception, I'm not even gonna make you do that. As you're coming up to the
as well.
as you're coming up to the front of the this canyon, you see on either side of the opening, a couple of these mounds have like kind of congregated, and stalks have kind of like branched up along the cave wall. And from these stalks are holding like a bunch of look like giant nut-like pods, just kind of hanging there from these stalks.
Okay.
You notice that uh, the stalks, are kind of alive. They kind of there's no wind, but you can see them kind of sway and move, and just kind of slowly kind of quiver uh, as y'all get
Jeremy,
a little
what's
bit
in the
nearer
nut?
the area.
Okay. I'm going to point these out to everybody.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Jeremy just
ask.
kind of points at him and goes, and just starts like rapidly pecking you real fast.
Are those the bad guys, Jeremy?
Ah,
All right.
One peck for yes, two pecks for no.
what was that?
Said one
One
peck
peck
for
for
yes, two
yes,
for no.
two pecks for no.
He pecks you once.
Okay.
All right, so we should cut it down.
Well, I mean, yeah, cut it down or like attack it while it's there.
Jeremy cautions you. Let me see here real quick. What is he going to do? He actually is going to what is he going to do? He just kind of walks up towards them, but then stops about a certain distance away from them and starts walking a perimeter at this distance from the stalks.
I think he's telling us don't get any closer than that.
He's about 60 feet away from them.
Okay.
You notice that there are no other mounds in that area either. There are mounds, spotted at random, but that 60-foot zone is clear.
Okay.
Should we throw something into that 60-foot circle to see what happens, or just not touch it?
Um.
I got this one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Icar Blight.
Okay.
I'll bring you back.
So just for some clarification, what actually is Icar Blight? He's a construct or is
Pseudo-dragon.
he's a pseudo dragon?
Yes.
Is he actually a dragon or is he undead?
He is actually a dragon. The undead
Mhm.
was a visage created when we were on the planet that was essentially nothing else but undead that we were tasked to kill.
Okay, so he's technically alive but not undead. Got it.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, once Icar Blight crosses that line, you see those little nut-like pods just kind of all swim around and a barrage of tiny little needle-like projectiles just come machine gunning out towards him. What is his what's his AC?
um,
Well, they're plants.
do, 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 do. With mage armor, it is 18.
Okay. Then yeah, meets it, beats it. So yeah, he gets hit. How much? Let's see. Where are my d6s? There they are. All right. And he is going to take 12 damage. And he's going to need to make a con save against some poison. Unless Hero's Feast is still up, yeah. It applies to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then yeah, he doesn't have to worry about poison then. He just
Okay.
takes the 12 damage.
Okay. He disappears.
Okay. But yeah, where he was is now just an absolute pile of just like pincushion of these little fine needles.
Okay.
Um,
The pods just kind of like quiver and shake, and then after a while they settle back down and go back to their normal rhythm.
Just for clarification, like we come to this canyon, is there a pathway up that 100 feet, to the entrance, or is it?
No, it's like straight back. The cliff face is just straight up. You're going into it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So
so,
it's like 100 feet straight in. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
when he disappears, let me pull up the spell.
Oh god, I forgot that he.
He has a contingency on him, yes.
Oh yes.
Um, 20-foot cylinder. Deck save from all these plants.
Okay, they were 60 feet away. Is that gonna? That's a 30-foot radius, right?
It's a 300-foot range, 20-foot cylinder. So whichever needle hit him first, it would be centered on the creature that shot that.
Okay. All right. And so, how much damage are they having to resist here? And what are they resisting it with? Dex?
It's a dexterity saving throw.
I'm going to roll this, but it's a plant.
Plants have dex too.
They have minuses.
They do. The spell save is 19.
Yeah, there's no way these plants can physically pass that dex save. They are immobile for all intents and purposes.
Okay.
So,
They are
what's
going
going to hit
to
them?
take Ice Storm.
Ice Storm.
So they are
Okay.
going to take 11 points of bludgeoning damage. And clicky the thing for the cold damage. 16 points of cold damage.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you. So yeah, Ichor Blight pops out of existence, and then in retribution, this just massive swirling pile of ice, just launches into the crowd of plants gathered at the entrance of the canyon way. And yeah, you send the pods just scattering off their stalks. They are bouncing around the area wildly, spraying needles galore. Um, and yeah, they are just kind of bouncing around wildly around the area as you have just kind of completely killed those plants. Um, the pods are still bouncing and shooting for a bit, but they are now off the plants and the way is clear. There's just now a bunch of frag grenades basically going off. You could choose to wait them out if you so do. After a
Yeah,
few moments,
I'll
they
take
will.
the 10 minutes to resummon Ichorblight.
Okay. And the time it takes you to resummon Ickerblight, the pods calm their little tantrum down and fall to the ground and just kind of they twitch kind of sporadically, but they don't seem to have any needles left to fire.
Okay.
The area of the entrance to this canyon is now littered with these little spines and pegs everywhere. Uh, the horse is probably not going to like stepping over that,
He's got
but
really, really great shoes.
he does have good shoes.
Uh, I pull out my mandolin, strike a couple of notes, and the horse can fly.
And yeah, with
As
that, there
the
is the. Go ahead.
I was like, as Colt once again floats off the ground, while he stays oriented properly, this time he just freaks the fuck out a little bit. You just like hear me holding my head as the horse is screaming inside my skull.
But okay,
It's
yeah.
fun. It's fun.
As you advance the entrance of this canyonway, it's about a 30-foot entrance, wide entranceway. The ice storm covered all that. It goes back about 100 yards through, and then it opens up into kind of like a little box canyon area. Like you can, like Ezekiel said, scattered around are the long remains of some ruins of some various like small buildings around here. They have long since decayed into nothing but just bare walls and the barest minimum of that can be seen as a structure. However, at the back of the box canyon, there one of the structures has been recently repaired in a very ramshackle manner. Uh, Various pieces of like metal, wood, and whatever you could really find have just been kind of crammed up to create like facade of a structure in the side of this mountain. Um, Milling around out front in this little box canyon area are a number of like humanoid like shuffling mounds. They're kind of just they just are kind of mindlessly shuffling about the area. Some of them are like up against the walls kind of like petting it, but they don't seem to really notice y'all's presence as you enter. There's about 30 or so of them in this area, just randomly doing just things. Some of them are like acting like they're trying to like work on a building, but they don't have tools, they don't have materials. Um, they're just kind of mimicking doing stuff. Um, but they're about like a medium humanoid size, just this indistinct mass of just like fungal vegetation, just kind of in the vague shape of a humanoid.
Hmm.
Right.
I don't think I want to stir fry that.
Yes, I can. Do we know if these things are undead exactly?
Uh, if you wish to examine them further, you may.
Uh,
These things have those mushrooms on them as well.
Yes, you see that mixed in with all the various other types of plants and stuff that's all kind of amalgamated into these creatures. You don't seem to, they don't have like a recognizable face. They don't have eyes even or a mouth. It's just kind of a vague mannequin shape.
27 on investigate. From what I've seen with the spores that I've collected and all that, are these essentially puppets or is the body being kept alive?
It seems like the it seems like a combination of it. Like the body as itself seems to be like a separate entity to the mushrooms, and
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of in a symbiosis together. The body is sustaining the mushroom, and the mushrooms are puppeting the body. Um,
Okay. So we
Sorry.
have to kill these before I can turn them into pets.
uh,
Yeah, I thought maybe Ruga could help me like disperse these creatures, but I don't think it's gonna work if they aren't exactly dead yet.
do they seem to be native to this plane?
actually, yes, they seem to be entirely native to this plane.
Good to know.
Hmm.
Getting close to these guys doesn't seem like the best idea. I mean, the rats were pretty nasty. Yeah.
Yes, but we killed them. I feel like there's one more test I would like to run before we have to kill these people. Maybe seeing if we could separate the mushroom from them. If they could return to their former sentience, then I really don't want to turn them all into skeletons. But if they can't, then I mean, fodder is fodder.
Hmm?
Okay. Can I roll medicine to see if like the fungal infection is like a disease?
Um, yeah, you can roll that. And I'll see what you get here real quick. Yeah, go for it. Try that approach.
19?
19. Okay. Yeah, you're looking at the fungus on these things, and yeah, it does have similarities to a fungal infection. It is, parasitic in nature, but it is, you know, exposure. It works its way into following, you know, various physiological of its host species. It seems to target, nerve clusters and motor functions.
So
Uh,
mechanically, it would be classified as a disease.
it operates like a disease.
Hmm. I have immunity to
So,
disease. I need to know if this is going to affect me.
I'm going to say yes. Yeah, it for this intensive purposes and for that purpose, yes, it would matter. It counts as a disease.
Okay,
It can be
cool.
considered a disease.
Uh,
so
so Akram, what do you want me to go do since I can go up to them without being in danger?
mm, I don't I like I could try telepathically talking to one. Or you could just, since you're not in danger, you could just go grab one and bring it here,
Yeah.
unseen.
Okay. All right.
I walk up to one of the things and I tap it.
It makes no. It makes absolutely no reaction to your presence at all. The one you have gone up to is at what looks to be like a well, and it looks like it's trying to draw, but there's no rope and there's nothing, and it's just
Is there
endlessly.
water at the bottom?
Nope, dry as a bone. And it's just
Um,
hand over hand, just continuing to, you know,
Hmm.
mime in the air, drawing up a well.
do I have what I need for this? I think I do. I am just going to grab a water skin and I'm going to spray water on it.
Okay.
It seems to be trying to get water. I'm gonna see if giving it a sample of what it's trying to get works.
You see it kind of twitch and, you know, jerk a little bit, but it kind of goes back to its motion. But you did definitely see it perked up with that. It did like what you splashed on it. You can see the portions of the plant matter that it's made of turn a more vibrant green, and actually you can tell a bit more contrast between it and the fungal matter because the fungal matter is kind of a more putrid, bruised purple color, whereas the plant
Gotcha.
matter that makes up these creatures, when watered, appears to be more of a vibrant green.
I'm gonna relay this to everybody. Um, yeah. I sprayed water on one of them and it kind of reacted, but they're like it's not even like I can poke it, I can like get in its face and wave, and it just kind of keeps doing what it's doing. The water made it do stuff. Can anybody cast create water?
I don't think it's a cleric spell.
I've got alcohol, but that's about it.
Yeah, I've got beer, I've got olive oil, I've got potions. I could give it a health potion.
I
Wait,
mean,
no,
I
I
guess
I
I can,
actually
but
do have a water skin on Colt from the guy when we first got here.
I can create 10 gallons of clean water
That's
within
a lot.
range in an open container. So we have to have a container that will hold the 10 gallons. Alternatively, water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube. Okay, so I could just
You could literally make it rain on this guy.
I can make it rain on a cube of 30 feet of them. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we can try it. I'm not
Uh,
using my
all
personal
opposed?
spot.
I'm fine with it.
All right, roll, make it rain.
And Raul just does a rain dance really quick. And itsy bitsy spiders it. Rain falls in a 30-foot cube around, specifically the one that he just went and
Okay.
uh,
Yeah,
talked with.
that's going to catch that one and a couple of other ones.
Cool.
As the rain falls, the creatures kind of, seem to perk up. Like I said, their plant matter, which was kind of dull and matted and dried out in the desert sun, starts to perk back up. You see them start to green up a little bit. Even small little buds of flowers kind of like spring up along their arms and edges and areas. Um, but despite that, they seem to be still stuck in their motion. But as they become more and more alive, you see them start to like. It's almost as if they're trying to resist the motion they're stuck in, um, and are actively trying to resist their compulsion to continue whatever action they're being compelled to do.
Uh, I'm going to poke it,
Hmm.
and I'm going to cast remove curse.
Okay. What all does remove curse remove?
Um, that's an excellent question, and I will tell you momentarily because I have 5e tools pulled up. At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object end. If the object is a cursed magic item, its curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object so it can be removed or discarded.
Okay. All right. Uh, you cast this on one of the creatures, and you just see it kind of stop, shudder, and it stops its motion. Um, it just kind of sits there awkwardly, but it just kind of freezes up and stops what it was doing, and you see the mushrooms are still there. They're still there, and you can see them kind of like pulsating and moving on the creature. But it no longer seems to be locked in that motion anymore. It kind of just kind of slowly starts looking around and starts kind of aimlessly shambling away from its former position.
Okay. Do the mushrooms look like they got loose? Like, I tried pulling one off.
Um, the mushrooms are still there. Then as you pull at them, they're entwined into it. You can pull at them and remove pieces of it, but it's worked in there. You'd have to really sit and pick to remove it that way. But
Gotcha.
the compulsion that it was under doesn't seem to be there anymore. Physical affliction seems to remain, but the compulsion is gone.
Okay.
I'm going to try to telepathically talk to this one.
Hmm.
Hello.
It just kind of stops and is like, "Who? What? Where? Who are they?" And it just kind of sits there, and you can see it, and it's just kind of looking around. Like I said, it doesn't have face or an eyes, so it's just kind of blindly looking around.
What? I would like to attempt to return you to your former self. What happened?
I don't remember. There was nothing then. Light? Then I live? I am? But then I wasn't? And orders I hear. They telling me do things, but voice gone. Now I hear you? New voice?
Yes.
Do
Hmm.
you do you know old voice?
Mm,
I
not yet.
I do not like old voice. It was mean. It hurt. It made me do things. You're not going to make me do things.
No.
I like your voice. Your voice is better.
Thank you. Hmm.
And you see the creature kind of relax, and it's uh, still doesn't seem to be quite aware of where you are in reality. But yeah,
Uh,
Um, I'm oblivious to the conversation being had. I'm gonna walk up to it and cast Lesser Restoration,
okay.
which
Let's.
ends one disease or condition afflicting it.
As you do that, you see the mushrooms just kind of sizzle off of it and just kind of start falling away and just kind of peeling away from the creature, and it just kind of and it starts singing, for lack of a better word, uh, in pure excitement as it just kind of sits there and sings for a bit.
hmm.
It's like, pain, free, I feel. Thank you, voice. You are good voice.
That
Uh,
wasn't me.
There are more voices?
Look,
I'm gonna enter the telepathic conversation. Are you okay?
I believe so. I feel better.
Good. I've just been casting spells and seeing what worked.
I, if you say so, voice. I am unaware of what the spells are you mean.
That's okay.
I, I, I I wish to repay you, help you, because I know not how. I've not been me for long.
Um, Akram, what do you think?
I mean, I'm not sure how they could possibly help us. In all honesty,
Do they know where the door is?
do
Door?
you? Yes, to the other voice.
Other voice? Yes, follow the light. And it just points towards the canyon entrance, the back of the canyon where the structure was. Can you not see the light?
No, but I'll
No.
take your word for it. If you see the light, that's good enough for me.
It is the light of life. It's what animates us, keeps us going. Do you not feel it too?
We're animated by a different source.
Hmm, interesting. Other lights, other voices. Your world is interesting.
Hmm.
Would you like me to take you to the light?
Oh, yes,
Yes,
if you wouldn't
please.
mind.
Huh. Come, come. And it starts shuffling back towards the end of the canyon, towards the structure at the end of it.
Huh? Just
That
follow
was all
along.
telepathic. Me, Jeremy, Winifred, and Cole. These our two patriots here, walk up, slap it on the back. Basically, it started to sing. It pointed, and now we're gonna follow it. That's
Yes.
And you just saw the mushrooms like sizzle and burst off of its back.
Colt's just
cool.
nodding thoughtfully.
Yep. Looking at Jeremy like, you know what just
Jeremy
happened?
is he as confused as you are.
Okay, cool.
He
uh,
doesn't seem to like the plant man.
Once everybody's in range, I'll hit us all with Rary's telepathic bond so that we're all in telepathic communication. Jeremy, Colt, the plant thing. Uh, Whenever Blight comes back, he'll be able to join in.
Nickerblade's back.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, Blight's in too.
Yep.
Whole party, including all familiars, are now in telepathic communication.
Greetings, party. I try not to do this without permission, as I find it rude to speak into your head. But as you have invited us into this open channel, it is a pleasure to speak with you all.
Likewise. Thank you, Colt.
Colt's so polite, and then you just hear Winifred's internal monologue, and it's just the amazing horse gif. Look at my horse. My horse is amazing.
Are there this many voices in your world?
This is
This
just the
is
people around you.
this is many voices. It must be very confusing for you.
This is all very confusing for me. All of it being inside my head too.
Hmm, more voices. Huh, this is my lucky day. Anyway, it continues on up to the front of this building, and it just kind of extendo its arms out to this metal door and just kind of peels apart these old rusty mine doors and gestures for you to enter down this
We're
very
just following this thing, guys. We're just following this thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just gonna follow Joe.
He's taking us to the light.
Joe.
Yeah,
Who is
you're Joe.
I'm Joe?
Yep.
Hmm, I am Joe. I'm Joe. I
What?
am Joe. And he just kind of starts saying that as he just kind of wanders into this dark, dank mine shaft.
Guys, I don't know if you know, this is a dark, dank mine shaft. There's no light here.
Uh, uh,
Yes, there is very much no light here.
I
Have faith,
will.
Raoul.
Um. I will take Raoul's hands. It will be okay, and I cast light on his hands.
Oh, I can see. I got dark vision. This is more of a, you just said this blind ass humanoid thing is taking us toward the light. And Raul doesn't see any light in front of him. He's like, I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about. I don't think he can see the light, guys.
Yeah, Shotgun's just like, have faith. Plants can always find the light.
But yeah, as you follow him down this dank mine shaft, he follows you, takes you down the main shaft. There's a few branches off where you can see more of these plant men. Again, stuck in that kind of pantomiming of life, but not actually achieving anything. Um, but as you're around a bend, you actually see a light at the end of the tunnel. There is two lanterns uh, fixed up above a door that is blocking the end of this long tunnel he's brought you to.
Okay.
This door is, big, solid metal door, heavily reinforced. It's crudely made, but it's a giant slab of metal, kind of slammed into the shape of a door. There is a heavy, uh, like reinforcement around it. It seems to be pretty much sealed shut as much as he can. He's
Okay.
like, and he just kind of, this is as far as as close as I can get to the light.
Because the door's in the way?
Door?
The
Yes,
the obstruction.
yes. This was not always here. Uh, it was recent, new. It has blocked us from the light.
I see. Uh, Raoul, I think you might be stronger than me, so can you open this pickle jar?
Sure.
All right. Give me some strength and athletics there.
Let's go.
As he
Okay.
tries to rip this metal door off its
Let me
hinges.
try to keep this on the table here. 14 plus athletics, which is 9, so 23.
Okay, 23. All right. With a mighty heave, you kind of pull and the door kind of shakes and crumples a little bit. And kind of with a mighty crash, kind of twists a little bit off the side. You haven't opened the door, but you have created a opening through the door.
Sorry, I misread my character sheet. It's not plus 9, it's plus 19.
Oh, then you fucking ripped it off its hinges. Yeah,
33.
with the
PDF is
30.
very
Okay,
small. Yeah,
DC
sorry, my PDF is very small. I need to zoom in. I'm sorry.
no, DC was 25. So yeah, 33. You rip it off its fucking hinges.
He treats it like it's a curtain. He just goes.
Yes, you part the metal sea with grace. And beyond here, this section of tunnel has actually been. It's looked like someone has put a bit of attempt to turn this into a bit of a habitable space. Um, there's actual lights are going. There's some furnishings around. Um, there's a table, a small cot in a corner. Uh, you know, of this kind of like small, like 20 by 20-foot chamber that this door has opened up into. Leading off the back side of it, there's another door. This one's just a small wooden door. It doesn't even look like it's really barricaded. But this section, it looks like somebody has recently been living here. There's, clothing and things scattered about, half-eaten pieces of food. The things you would expect from someone having been locked up in here for a while. Um, but yeah, and like the back left corner there's, like I said, that's where the the other door leading out of this chamber is. Uh,
uh, is the source of the light in this room?
No, it is further in, and it shuffles, kind of knocking the furnishings a little bit as it kind of like stumbles into a few things. It's like, this was not here before, and it pushes a chair out of the way and continues slowly towards that door, unless anybody does anything else.
Actually, I will activate my ghostly gaze
Okay. Ghostly
so that
gaze.
I can see through solid objects. And I'm gonna do an investigation check to see
Mhm.
if there's anything fun in this area. 27.
27. All right. Yeah, you're looking around this area, and this area, like I said, somebody used to be living in here. Um, it looks like they kind of packed everything. They packed up and left in a hurry. But they left a bunch of things scattered about. There's like a whole table full of like papers, scrawlings, writings, various different notes. There's a small like notebook that's kind of like was half burnt, sitting in a little waste pile next to the table. Um, it's still somewhat intact, but it looks like someone tried to burn it but failed. Um, but that's the most you see just examining the room. With your ghost sight, though, you can kind of see um, how far does it penetrate?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, yeah. You can see that beyond that door in the back, there's a passage and then two more chambers on either side of it. So there are two chambers uh, behind the wall, basically, because that's like only a 10-foot wall.
I will grab all the paperwork and the burnt notebook and shove it into
Mhm.
my bag of holding.
Okay.
And then telepathically, um, there are two more chambers past the way.
That you could see at least.
Okay. What direction is the plant guy heading? Where's Joe going?
He's going to the door in the back, which from his sight opens into a T junction with two chambers to the left and right.
Okay. Well, let's follow Joe.
Joe kind of stumbles through the into the T junction, and he goes to the wall where there is no door and is like, "Hmm, hmm, this is, hmm, this was not here before. Hmm. The way has changed. I am slightly unfamiliar with it now. We are getting closer to the light. It is not far," and it points through the rock.
Points through the rock. Okay.
Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna walk up to this rock and cast knock.
Uh, Naka solves any mechanical locks, right?
Yep.
Okay. You hear a loud shudder, and the rock kind of slowly descends out of the way, revealing a very cramped but further passage leading deeper into the mountain.
There you go, Joe. No more
Thank you.
obstruction.
Yes, I think the way is clear from here. This is familiar. And he kind of starts shuffling down this slowly inclining narrow uh, passageway.
Okay. I'm gonna follow him. It's
After,
worth pointing out I do not have my glaive out right now. I've just been carrying my mandolin the whole time.
gotcha. Um, yeah,
How big of a passageway is this?
it's a D&D pass 5-foot passageway. Um, it is passable, but might be a little bit cramped for Raoul's taste.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just didn't know if we had to go single file or yeah. Gotcha.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, it is like I said, a D&D 5-foot passageway. But it goes down a little bit ways to just a small door. And he is like, yes, I can feel the light. It is just beyond this last obstruction. Uh, it is through here, and he just points to the wooden door.
I try to open it.
Uh, it opens without hesitation, and it opens up into a large, open, workroom. There's various tables and various things scattered about, various lab equipment, all sorts of weird, heinous things. There's tubing and piping kind of scattered along the roofs of the walls, all silently kind of clanking and hissing. The atmosphere of the room is all kind of heavy, filled with like this just kind of clawing fumes, as all this kind of like machinery and stuff just around the room is just kind of like clanking away merrily.
Wanted to try something maybe like as we were walking down there. I know he just said he opened the door, but yeah, maybe I like
Go.
quickly.
What
Yeah.
were you doing?
Um.
Because you know Shockland's just going to open the door. So if Raul wants to do something before Shockland's impulses hit, go for it.
Yeah.
The
I
intrusive
like
thoughts win.
my eyes like this, and you see magic like start to come out of my hands, and I cast True Seeing on myself.
Okay.
Just I'm curious about this light. And really, what I'm trying to do is see if I can see the light, like our friend
Okay.
Joe here. I don't know
Yeah.
if that works mechanically, the because all it says is I have true sight. I know where hidden doors are by magic, and you can see into the ethereal plane all out to 120 feet. So you can tell me whether it works or not. The
No,
rules.
I like that, so I'm going to say it does. Yes. Once you rub your eyes and you look, and yeah, in the room about 100 feet away from you is just this like giant pillar of just shearing light that drowns out absolutely fucking everything and around
Holy
it.
shit!
It is like a beacon from the heavens just sitting there like 10 feet away, 100 feet away from you. And you're just staring at it.
Now look at Joe like he's telling the truth. And that's so fucking wow, impressive.
Yeah, like a miniature sun just sitting there staring back at you.
You hear that, Joe? Raoul sees the light.
Ah, magnificent, isn't it?
It really is, Joe. That was a magnificent light.
But yeah, you enter into the chamber beyond Shockland, and it is about 50 feet wide and 100 feet long. Um,
Okay.
there is you know, uh, there are two rows of columns running down the either side of the room, kind of supporting the roof, spaced about 10 feet away from the walls. Uh, let's say there's 10 of these columns. And at the far end of the room, the rest of the room, like I said, the walls are just covered in this random clanking machinery that you're not quite certainly the intention of. But at the back is like this raised dais type machine, and socketed into it, like plugged into it like an aetherite, is just this giant green faceted crystal. It is about 10 feet tall, uh, and it is just this giant, pure emerald looking crystal.
Okay.
And it is socketed into this giant, contraption of some kind that this whole room seems to be all one part of.
All right. I'll work with that.
Uh,
And the guy that we're here for, his name is Ivor.
yes, Ivor.
Do we see him anywhere in this room?
Nope. This room is like like I said, the previous one. It's got, you know, the scatterings of a madman everywhere. There are various. There's actually a few piles of just vague, unidentifiable plant matter. Containers of these mushrooms. There's actually like a tray, like where someone has been like hydroponically growing those mushrooms, off to like the left side of the room. But you don't see any sign of Ivor himself. But like I said, the room is just this hive of activity as all the machines are just clicking and whirring away to their own content.
Okay.
So we just take the crystal and leave, right?
Yeah, I mean that, or we can take the crystal and wreck all the machines so that the Joe and his kind can get to the light when they need to.
And this is the light, right? The crystal is where the light's coming from.
Yes,
That's what you
says
said, yeah.
Joe as he's kind of like a moth drawn to a flame at this point. He's just kind of like, yes, and slowly, just without y'all's intervention, going to be walking towards the gem of his own volition.
To the gem or the light?
They are one and the same
Ah, okay.
to him.
Um,
Uh, while you don't see the metaphysical light that it is giving off, it is giving off a physical light that is filling this room. A kind of soft, gentle green glow as it just kind of spins and pulsates regularly in time with the machinery.
okay. So hear me out.
Mhm.
Crazy pitch. I'm gonna use animating performance on the dais that has the gem on it.
You're going to try and animate an object.
I'm going to animate an object
So we're
of
just
some
gonna
sort.
have
I don't know which one's gonna animate, but
we're just gonna have the crystal follow us out.
yeah.
Okay.
You're going. Okay, that's one way to try and do this.
My goal is I want to kind of Pied Piper all of the plant guys out of the canyon and see if they just follow the crystal.
Okay.
Now, I mean, I know how to cure them now. It's not like, a problem to do.
It's kind of difficult to animate this dais. It's all one big machinery.
But can I animate the
Technically,
crystal?
can you animate a magical item?
Let me check.
Like,
How big is the crystal?
it is about 10 feet tall and about mm, 3.5 feet at its widest point.
Okay.
Oh, one large or smaller non-magical item.
Yes, this is technically a magical item, so I don't think you could animate the crystal.
Oh,
And the machinery it is attached to is the size of a large room.
okay,
Okay.
So,
gotcha.
So
I hear me out. I go and I just rip the fucking machine apart, pick up this crystal and carry it out.
I didn't stock in large reduce today, and that's
I
not
did.
fitting into a bag of holding, so I'm good with you just ripping the shit out.
I cast enlarge on Raoul.
We were gonna reduce the crystal. I think it's what you.
I thought the plan was to make the crystal small. No, I guess this
No, just
works.
make Raoul big.
I can do that too. I cast reduce on the crystal. No, I made Raoul big.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna try and rip this off, Raoul.
Like Rita Repulsa. Yeah. Make my monsters growl.
All
Uh,
right.
do you get advantage on this?
Yes. So give me your athletics with advantage here, real quick.
Sure, definitely. Which of my dice do I trust the most? This one.
And have bardic inspiration.
Wow, another 14. The 14, the plus 19, the 23.
33.
33, sorry.
Okay. So 33 on that. Oh, good lord. There are very few things that can resist you, Raoul.
That's what my wife says.
I walked into that one. Yeah, you go up to the crystal and you kind of get your hands around it and give it a mighty tug. And as you're heave-hoing that thing out, normally lightning is a dex save, but you're not actually really dodging here. But give me a dex save anyway, as the energy from this that is being siphoned from this crystal kind of backlashes and cackles around in huge sparks of lightning as you attempt to pull it out of here.
Okay.
Cause
Dex save. Ooh.
what's chain lightning again?
Only,
Oh,
I'm adding 3 to this. Ah! Dex
no, no,
total.
no. Protection from lightning energy. It's a at will ability on my mandolin.
Okay. All right, so he halves chain lightning.
So 3 plus 3 is a 6.
All right, let me get the roll. Alrighty, and so you took half. So you take 20 lightning damage. That's halved for the resistance. As you were just yanking this thing out, but with that much strength, after a Herculean effort and a mighty crash, the crystal comes popping out of its socket. As it does so, though, the machinery around the room start to begin going a bit haywire as you just kind of unplugged everything. And things kind of start to shake and rumble. And as you're doing so, you hear kind of a staticky crackle come on, and he's like, "You morons! What do you think you're doing? What? Why would you do that?
Finders
Ah,
keepers.
You fools! Ugh, it's too late, though. I've already siphoned off all the energy I need from that crystal. Take it if you want. Give it to Kashad. I don't care anymore. I have become God down here.
Actually, we just need it for our own purposes. It really has nothing to do with you and the squabble with the genie god.
Nonsense. Why else would Kashad send such heroes to deal with me? He's finally taking me seriously, the bugger.
We work for a
That's the
library.
wrong word.
Wait, what? What's the,
We
what?
we work for a librarian. We were sent
So
to collect this.
Yeah,
It's
we're
past due.
What? What?
while
Okay.
he's monologuing, I'm gonna activate my new.
go for it.
Can I roll persuasion on this? Like, I'm gonna try and convince him that we're literally just collecting a past due artifact that was checked out from a library.
I will allow you to roll persuasion, and I will see what happens. I am not making any guarantees, though, but I want to see what the dice say here.
All right.
what
I'm
is it?
checking my bonus abilities here. I don't think I get advantage on this. I just use my basic roll.
All of these mortals have become God.
Does a 29 convince him?
Wait, what? You just came for the jewel? You
Yeah.
came here to mess with my plans for just this stupid library? You insolence! You
I-
insolence!
I mean,
Ah!
if it makes you feel better, we can destroy you. Like if it would boost your ego to be a problem, we can be a bigger problem. But yeah, we're just here for the crystal. Okay, I'm gonna set the floating disc right here. Go ahead, Raul. Go ahead and set the crystal on it, and I cast floating disc.
But
Uh,
you can't just offer the heroic opposition service without telling him how much it costs.
Oh,
Oh,
you,
yeah,
your
there's at
life
least
and
a
all of
deposit.
your everything. I mean, once we kill you, we're gonna
You-
take everything. But that's up to
You
you. I mean, you can continue.
You think you can destroy me? I'm gonna be the one to destroy you!
That's
You
cute.
would not.
I've been
You would not
destroyed
be
like
the first.
17 times. An 18th isn't gonna hurt, and I'll come right back. And it's not really a good idea for you to try that.
Yeah, and gods are like our number one client when it comes to acquisitions, and they don't normally monologue like this, my friend.
you do notice that as conversation has been continuing, the shaking and rumbling of the room have started to increase. Most notably, you have noticed that they are starting to start rumbling is starting to come from below you. And he's like,
You destroy me? No, I will show you. I will show all of you. I will show you the power I have harnessed down here. You fools will pay for this. Just you wait.
he says, as the earthquakes are continuing to increase in intensity.
He really
Hell
does
yeah, let's go!
monologue.
I was trying to break your back.
Oh God! Now you've done it.
The cult's just hovering above. the shaking floor. And I'm like, I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Alrighty. With that, erupting out of the center of this 50 by 100-foot room in a 30-foot circle is a giant, wriggling like head of a ginormous, just rotating mass of teeth worm. You can clearly see uh, little purple pustules of mushrooms running down its flanks through its scales, and it just kind of crushes up through the center of the floor and screams at you, Raoul. Roll initiative.
You know, we weren't hired to be an extermination team.
What is everybody's positioning? Specifically around me.
I am at the back of the room.
Who
Me
is
and
within
Joe
10 feet of me?
are right next to this crystal.
So probably the three of y'all would be in 10 feet of.
I can't make this shit up. I rolled another 14. Yeah.
All right. Well, add a +4 to your initiative.
Nice.
1 sec. Hold on.
Plus 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20, not natural.
Dirty 20.
All right. Let me get my piece of paper real fast.
26.
24.
All right. And Raoul, just remind me again, what was yours?
Dirty 20.
20. And Winifred, just remind me.
Dirty 20.
20. Okay.
My dex is 2, so he probably has more.
Yes. Alrighty.
Like we are all a perceptive and very quick to action bunch of people.
Akram is not perceptive. My persuasion roll is a +1.
All right.
I
So,
can investigate the fuck out of anything, but I'm generally in my own head, so I'm not like, ooh.
all right. With a 26, Akram, you are up first. The giant worm has just burst out of the middle of the room. It is, you can't see the whole body of the thing as most of it is still underwater, but the not underwater, underground. But the head portion that has erupted out has gone up about, a good 30 feet up into the air, and a good, let's give it a say, it's a colossal creature, so it has a foot span of like 20 feet. So it's a
Oh,
pretty big worm.
this time.
Hmm.
And you are first up to act.
What's the guy's name again?
Ivor?
Ivor. Dr. Ivor.
Dr. Ivor. Yes.
I had to get the most annoying voice I could for that. Sorry.
I like it. It's a solid voice for the horribly monologuing scientist of doom.
I mean, you were stuck with two options. You could do that, or he could be Mojo Jojo.
Oh God. Yeah, there really is only two options in that.
I would be okay with Mojo Jojo too.
Oh, no, no, no.
um, what to
Yeah.
do to start off? So he is riding the worm.
No, it's just the worm. You don't see him anywhere.
Oh,
He is still cackling madly over the loudspeakers.
I will. Um, two fingers to the center of my forehead, and then just point at the worm. And I need a wisdom save.
Alrighty. What's the DC on that?
19.
Yeah, big dumb worm is not going to have a very good will save.
Right.
It fails. So what's it taking?
So, strings of blue and black light shoot from my fingers and spiral around the worm as I cast Hold Monster, and it is now paralyzed.
All right. Yeah, with a big agonizing cry, it as the binding, it cries out as the bindings latch around it, and yeah, it is now paralyzed. Do you have anything else for your turn?
You're gonna have to do better than that.
He's just kind of screeching incoherently because it's not his turn yet. uh, Shocklin, thou art next up in the turn order.
Yeah. So if the worm is paralyzed and so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at Joe. So Joe got +4 to initiative 2 for being within range.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Joe, do you want to fight back against the old voice?
The old voice is mean. The old voice still has the others. I I do not know how to fight, but I do not like the old voice, says Joe.
Okay. This is gonna get a little weird, Joe, but I need you to focus. Remember, we're your friends, and we're gonna help you beat the old
Oh,
voice and free them.
all right. I
I
think I know
cast
where this is going
polymorph.
then. All right. You cast polymorph on Joe. What are you turning him into? He counts as a
T-Rex.
willing creature for this.
He's a T-Rex now.
A very bewildered T-Rex bursts into existence, and through your telepathic link, you're like, "What is this vision? I see. I gar chomp." And yeah, he's gonna go do his thing then as a
I
T-Rex.
point him at the worm.
Shocklin, do you have anything else for your turn?
Um, yes. I do that, and I am going to. I'm just going to switch my mandolin for my glaive.
Alrighty. Next up, does the hold monsters is assisted on your turn or its turn?
At the end of each of its turns, it may make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. It's going to try and save. Alright, and it needs a DC 18. It doesn't
19.
pass. Alright. DC 19. Well, that wouldn't change anything. It doesn't pass that. Alright, so it's gonna have its turn, and Ivor is going to curse at you. You think you can stop my creations? I have many more where that came from. And some of the machinery around the edge of the room starts unfolding and opening up. A sheath opens up in the wall, and a smaller version of the crystal sits within the wall, and it starts to rapidly pulse in light, and a couple of the containers around the room kind of start piling together into a big plant mushroom mound thing as it's congealing in the middle of the room. Well, off to the left side of the room, actually. And that's going to be its turn. Next we go to it was Winifred.
Um, so do I feel like that crystal is now conforming whatever is going on the left side of the room?
Well, you know that he was using these things as power sources. So he's using them to power shit. And it was clear that from the big gem plugged in, he was using that to power most of the creations. But this smaller one looks to be like a replica that he has made. That
Cool.
seems to be providing a similar benefit.
And we just need the big one, right? Nobody cares
Yes.
about the small one. Awesome.
You only
I'm
need the
gonna.
real one. You don't need the frauds.
Then I'm gonna guess. Should should I just go after the worm, or should I try to like just destroy this crystal?
If you go after the worm, you have advantage, and a hit is automatically a critical hit.
Yeah, you are going to smack that worm if you hit it.
I'm gonna roll a whole fuck ton of dice. Um, So yeah, I'm going to shoot at the worm. I'll take my advantage, and I'm also going to use sharpshooter to -5 to add 10. No fucking shit. Nat 20. Regardless of the crit. Nat 20.
All right, smack my monster.
All
Can
right.
you kill it?
That's going to
I hope
be
probably not. No.
4d12,
Yes. This is gonna hurt.
12d6 plus 25. Okay. 20, 24, 30. 40, 50, 60, 64 plus 25. So 89 damage.
Ouch. Is that the total after crit and everything?
Yes, that is
Okay.
with my sneak attack and my everything. That is for my first of 3 attacks. That is that is the damage.
Yeah, I knew this was coming, and still, yeah, that's a big hit. Oh. All right, so yeah, you smack the worm hard, and your bullets just tear a chunk out of its face. It cries in pain and thrashes against the bindings, uh, as it is clearly did not like getting rifled through the face.
Um, that might still miss even with advantage. Uh, does a 17 hit the giant worm?
No, that does not hit his AC.
Okay, how about a dirty 20?
Dirty 20 meets it.
So is this one a crit because it's
Yes.
paralyzed?
Yeah, it'll still crit, so
Okay,
it's gonna get smacked.
so this will be just the 4d12 plus 25.
Come on, let's see that 200 damage roll that I know you can do.
Oh, that's
Come on,
actually not terrible.
hit me,
12,
hit me.
23, 30, 55.
55. All right. Yeah, that second one, you just fire a second shot right into its face. And yeah, it is noticeably not happy about this arrangement of things, as you are just tearing chunks out of its mandibles.
And then I'm going to bonus action hide.
All right.
23 stuff left.
Okay, dokie. And next up, it goes to Raoul. Raoul, the giant worm in the middle of the room, is injured, and there is a giant shambling mound forming to the left of it.
I mean, I feel like I'm just gonna go punch this giant worm. I've been talking about it all. Apparently, you ain't that big, brother. Let's go. And I just sprint at it. And just go to town on it. I'm still enlarged, correct?
Yes, I am
Yes.
maintaining concentration on that.
That means you weren't large before, technically, as a bugbear, right?
No, you're technically medium.
They're medium with powerful build, so yeah,
Yeah,
you're large.
you know I'm large. Yeah, so I can't grapple it. But I do get 1d4 extra damage because of that. My tattoo thing that I activated earlier gives me an extra d6 of damage per an attack. So d20. It's a 6 plus 14, 20.
To hit,
Okay, yeah, so
beats me.
d4 plus d8 plus d6 for the maul plus divine strike another d8 Plus, I'm going to do a Battle Master feature. Um, we will say uh, we'll just do a disarming strike. Not that I can disarm it, but I just want to add the extra damage. Yeah.
Gotta get that superiority die in there somehow.
Yeah, exactly. The 8, 16 plus another 8 is 24 plus my modifier is 8, so 36.
Roll your dice again.
32. 32. Sorry.
It's a crit.
Awesome.
Roll
Oh
your
yeah.
Oh,
dice again.
all those again. My bad. So 32 plus 7. Oh no, I do get to add that again. That's right. Yeah, because 7 and 2 is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. On top of that, 32, so 48.
48 damage. Ouch.
Don't add my modifier again. I only added it one time, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, second attack. I don't get to add my extra D8 that time because I can only do the divine strike once. Correct? Yes, can only do that once. Can I? I can just do it every time I hit with an attack, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I'll do another. It's the only thing we're really fighting. So I'm gonna use another superiority die to add that D10 again. Let me see if I hit. 13 plus 14, 27. Uh, 8 and 9 is 17, 18, 19, 20, plus 8 is 28. 29, 30, 31, 32, and another 8 is 40.
Okay, so another 40 on. All right. Ouch. Yeah. You run up to this thing and you just start pommeling that worm, and it is phew. Yeah, you've beat the hell out of that worm.
It's
It's
still alive. I do still have a third attack because we're level 11 now.
it is still alive, but it is damn near on its last legs. It is
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Yeah.
it is doing the whole Rocky, you know, uh
It's a 12 plus 14.
uh
Another priority die on it. The 6, 3, 3, 1. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Plus 8. Is 21. Yeah, 21. Plus 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So a total of 41 for that hit.
okay, yeah, with that 41, you boom punch the crap out of this thing and it just kind of shakes and falls and falls over and slowly starts sliding back down its hole.
Oh no! I grab it and lay on top of it. Somebody count it. Great work, my ass. 1, 2, 3.
And with that, uh Ivor is going to be like, you think you're going to imperfect creations? Why should I ever thought that Kassad's work could ever do what I could do? You think you've seen the last of me? No, 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 no. Here, try this on for size. And another on the right hand side, on the opposite side from the first crystal, a second one springs up and starts pulling the plant matter mass on that side of the room into one big shambling mound.
Oh wait, this isn't the last we've seen of you. I told Froggang I was gonna break your back. Where are you?
He He just cackles madly as it goes back to the top of the turn order.
We actually haven't seen you yet.
What?
You haven't
This isn't a
actually
this
shown up.
isn't a bidding contest. I haven't seen you guys either.
Are you making your way this way? Or are you just going to
No.
continue to throw shit that I can do this? And I snap my fingers and cast Blight on the plant matter that is starting to come together.
All right. How big of an area is Blight cover?
I think it's 20.
You can probably catch one of them, not both, unless it's like 50-foot range.
It's targeted, so I can only catch
Okay.
one of them anyway.
Yep.
Um,
So yeah,
So it needs to make a DC 19 con save at disadvantage.
if it weren't for disadvantage, it would have succeeded. But it got an 18.
Okay, so it is plant matter, so it's going to take maximum damage for 64 necrotic.
Oof.
As I just rip the water out of it.
As you rip the water out of it, you hear a just massive, just psychic like shriek as the thing cries out in pain as you rip the water out of it. The crystal on the wall pulses, and as you see the water being pulled out of it, and as the crystal pulses, you see that it's kind of restoring vigor to it a little bit.
Okay.
But it did not like that at all. And you can hear it kind of screaming. Anything else in your turn?
No.
All right. Next up, it goes to Shockland. Shockland, you were up. The one on the left that he just hit with the wither, it has kind of stood up, and it is kind of now a misshapen man shape. It kind of looks like a big version of Joe.
Okay.
And it is kind of not happy that it just got hit by a bunch of magic. The other one is still kind of a blob and forming itself. It hasn't quite formed into a shape yet. But this one that did get hit by the wither just did.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the one that hasn't quite formed yet,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to hit it as hard as I possibly can.
Go for it.
All right. So I am going to start with bonus action. Which one of these am I going to do? I'm going to start with bonus action Searing Smite.
Okay, go for it.
So my next attack will do an additional 1d6 fire and then burn for 1d6 per turn. And then I am going to attack with my weapon. Too many screens open. Do I have advantage on the attack, anything like that?
I mean, I'd say you'd have advantage. It's a blob. It's like
It hasn't quite taken shape yet.
yeah, it doesn't seem it's it's a blob. It's like an ooze at this point looking thing.
Okay.
Hasn't formed into a humanoid yet. So yeah, I'd say you have advantage. It's technically prone.
Okay. Does an 18 hit?
18 does not.
18 does not hit. Okay. Then let me boost that real fast. Does a 27?
27 is going to hit it, yes. That'll
Okay.
hit.
So I've done that, and now I'm gonna declare Divine Smite. Uh, and so I'm going to use a 2d8, 3d8, 4d8, 5d8. I'm gonna use a 4th level spell slot on that to get the bonus 5d8 damage. And so that is going to be 7, 11, 16, next is d8s, 7. That's a total of 42 damage.
42 damage. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you swing into it and smack it really good. Give me a dex save real quick, Tristan.
A dex save?
Mm-hmm. Because as you plunge
Okay.
your weapon into this mound, the mound tries to hold on to your weapon.
Okay. 30-20?
Dirty 20. Beats it, beats it. It's trying to grab your weapon and hold on to it, but thanks to the extra little bit of fire that you had to repel it, you managed to yank your weapon away just in time before it can clamp down on the shaft and really lock it in place. But
Great.
it tries to kind of like grab your and mold around your weapon as you strike into it.
Gotcha. Ah, that's what I forgot to do. Okay. Oh well. I'll get it on the next round. Do I need to make any concentration checks for the polymorph?
Yes, give me that real quick.
Okay.
I forgot about Joe.
And that's a constitution save?
Yes.
21?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy enough to hold on to. Yeah, Joe is still a T-Rex. Joe seems a little bit confused on what to do, so he's gonna start attacking the dead worm. Um, and he's
The
just kind
worm is dead now?
yes. It is kind of slowly, by its own weight, sliding back into its hole that it dug out. But yeah, now Raoul and Joel are kind of on top of it still.
Okay.
All right. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. With that, the one to the left that got hit by the wither is going to cry out and just kind of yell at the room. The crystal glows a bright green, and you see kind of like wisps of energy going into the creature, and some of its wounds that were inflicted start to heal a little bit. And it is going to charge at Raoul because you are the closest and scariest. So this big, giant, like 20-foot shambling mound of just stuff just comes up, and it's gonna throw a punch at you.
Sure.
Alrighty. Does a 23 hit Raoul?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Alright. He is going to hit you for 25 damage. And I'm going to need you to make a dex save as he is going to try and entangle you as well, as he's just trying to engulf you.
Deck save.
Yes.
I'm not good at those. No. 7.
Uh, okay, so yeah, as it goes and it hits you, but it doesn't pull its punch away. It just kind of pushes into you and starts kind of molding over, and you are grappled by it.
It's grabbing me. No, I'm the one who does the grab.
And it is going to attempt to. Let's see here. It's going to attempt to throw Raoul.
I am a large creature at this point.
It's big too.
Okay, cool.
All right, and so it's going to attempt to shove. All right. So for that, it's opposed, and it got a 25. So
Okay.
you're gonna have to strength athletic feat at 25 to avoid getting shoved by
Okay,
it.
athletics.
Hmm.
All right, so I only need to roll a 6 to meet it. 13.
Okay. It goes to like try and shove you to the ground, but you just are like, "Oh, you want to grapple, Raoul?" You just you brace your feet and just kind of check its charge
This is
as
my
it
turn.
attempted to push you to the ground and kind of like consume you. Seems to be its plan, but it is still grappling you. And now it's going to go to the one by Shockland. That one is going to get up off the floor, Shockland, and he's going to take a swing at you as it kind of properly melds itself into a roughly humanoid shape.
Okay.
I don't think a 19 hits you.
A 19 does hit me.
Okay,
I only have an 18 AC.
gotcha. Okay, so he's going to smack for 22 damage. And
Okay.
that's going to be his turn. It then goes down to Winifred. There are two of these giant shambling mounds. Two crystals are lighting up on the side, providing energy to the two mounds. But one of them is engaged with Raoul, and one of them is after Shockland.
All right.
They don't seem to notice your presence. You seem to be fairly well out of their line of sight. Well, they don't have eyes, so
I am not being perceived.
no.
Um,
Your existence on this plane is debatable.
I guess I'll go after the one that's going after Shockland.
All right, smack it.
So this first one is with advantage because I'm hidden, and then doing my sharpshooter feat. Ooh, it's not a crit, but I'll take it. 26.
Okay. 26 to hit. Yeah, that hits it.
Awesome. So that'll be. Ooh. 5, 35 plus 15. 51 damage.
All right. Yeah, that one is looking really hurt. It's kind of you slice through it, and it's having a little bit of trouble maintaining its humanoid shape after that hit.
The 24 hit.
24 hits.
That's just 17 damage. And then another 24. That was 22 damage.
All right. 22 damage. Let's see here. All right. Okay, yeah, that one is by Shockland is pretty banged up. It's kind of sloshing pieces off of itself as it's moving around. It's still flailing around and moving, but it is pieces of it have come off and are falling off and dropping all over the place and pooling around the area around it as it just kind of sheds pieces from that injury. All right, Raul. Well, unless Winifred had anything left on your turn, real quick.
Oh, I'm gonna hide. Thank you.
Yep. Always important.
Right,
That's
that
why.
one is only a 19.
Okay, noted.
I rolled the 6.
Winifred, from your position in the room, give me a quick perception check, real quick, or just to just to
Uh,
see if something.
so I
Because you've
can't
got
roll lower than a 23.
Okay, then why do I even
Or
bother?
sorry, I can't roll lower than a 21. Not a 20.
Why do I bother calling for perception with Gestalt characters? Yeah. No, you kind of made this observation. That little machinery that the two crystals came out of. There are 6 of those in total in this room. 4 of them have not opened yet.
All right. You're
But you
gonna have
notice.
more incoming. That was telepathically. I did not give away my.
So yeah, it goes up to Raul. You are being grappled by this big, massive plant matter that is
Yeah.
just trying to grab you.
So to escape a grapple is an action, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You can't just hit him.
You can just hit him too. You'll still be grappled and he can hit you back, but you can just attempt to hit him too. If you have skilled and unarmed.
Just trying to decide if I should go after these crystals or not. Okay. Step one. What I'm gonna do. Bonus action. Spiritual weapon. A chair just kind of pops out like beside me and starts attacking this thing.
Yep.
It's going to D20 plus 10. Oh, not gonna hit. It's a 2 plus 10.
Yeah, unfortunately, that does not hit him.
Okay.
Well,
I am then going to action attempt to break the grapple.
All right. That's a strength athletics. It's opposed by his. So all right.
19 plus 19 plus 14, 35 or 30, 33. Sorry.
He got a 27, so you break his grapple.
Okay. Um, I am then going to run towards the closest crystal. How far is it?
It's about the room was like 50 feet across, so it's 25. One of the crystals, both crystals are 25 feet away from you.
Okay.
So you can pick the one over by Shockland, or you can pick the crystal that this one came from.
I'm gonna pick the one that this one came from.
All right, go for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna run over there. Is it attached to?
It's kind of like built into this like wire cage. You know, there's like wires coming down and gripping it from the top and bottom, as it's kind of like in this like electric socket almost, like a fuse.
Okay. Don't want to use my bonus. Don't want. I mean, I think I might as well. There's no reason not to. It'll give me an extra little bit here. Okay. No, I think I'm good right there because I've used action and bonus action. I'm gonna hang out right there. I'm not gonna use my action search yet. I think I'm gonna wait on that just in case I need it later.
Alrighty. Okie dokie. And with that, it's going to go back to the top of the turn order. And as it's going, Ivor is continuing to laugh maniacally, and right on cue, a third crystal opens up, and a third mass begins to form.
Sweet.
It is further Akram, Shockland, and Raoul, y'all went to the far end and are working your way back towards the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Winifred, you're at the entrance. The crystals are coming towards Winifred. They're activating in Winifred's direction.
Gotcha.
Okay. Um. So I will need. How far? So they're 50 foot across.
hmm
How far are they on the
The
same
crystals
wall?
are about they're about 20-foot interval between each crystal.
Okay.
So 50 feet across the room from each other, and then 20 foot on down the wall. And I said there was 6 of them in total, 3 of which are currently active.
Okay. So the one that just activated,
hmm
I need a Constitution save at disadvantage
From
Uh,
a crystal.
from a
from the crystal,
crystal.
shatter.
Yep.
All right. So what's the DC on it?
19.
Yeah, it fails. So the crystal fails its DC.
18.
And is this a AOE or a single target?
It's an AoE of 10-foot radius, so it's not going to
Okay.
hit more than one. 18, 21, 27.
27 damage. Oof. Ouch. Yeah, that crystal just kind of cracks and fractures, and with a loud, it just explodes, which is this mass of just green light and electricity just kind of comes sparking off of it. The machinery kind of bursts into flames, and the rumbling of the room kind of takes on a new bit of intensity. And I was just like,
What are you doing? Don't do that, you fools! He tried to kill all of us!
Sure.
I mean,
I'll be alright.
we'll be fine.
and with that
Like I
crystal,
said, I've died like 17 times.
I have evasion.
Maybe more.
and with that crystal shattering, the mound that was kind of forming into it just kind of goes wild. It just kind of congeals into a blob and just kind of sits there and convulses for a bit. But it does not stand up. It just continues to convulse as just like a gelatinous, gelatinous ooze kind of thing. Akram, is that your turn?
Um, for shiz and giggles, Acre Blight is gonna fly over to the crystal on the same wall that is already exposed and attack.
All right.
19 to hit.
All right. 19 is going to hit the crystal's AC.
Okay, it's going to take +2, so 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. All right. It Ickerblight kind of like just, I guess he just headbutts it and rams into it, and just kind of like bounces off the crystal.
It's its stinger.
Oh, his little stinger.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He ting, and just kind of little fractures start cascading through it. It does not detonate like the other one, but it does seem to start. The light within it is now pulsing irregularly and rapidly, and it is no longer seems to be putting off the steady glow that it was before. As it just kind of. And all right, so that's going to be your turn. It goes to Shockland.
All right. So is the thing that I was bonking still alive?
As far as you can tell, it's still moving around, but like I said, it's flinging pieces of itself everywhere. It's still up in motion and moving.
Okay.
So yeah, you could say it's still alive.
Um. And we still have no idea where Ivor himself is.
The only thing that he gave to hint a direction was below.
Okay.
I still have true seeing up. I don't see any like magical doors or anything, like any like invisible doors. Okay, cool.
Nope,
Just making sure.
nothing like that.
All right.
But there is a giant hole in the middle of the
Yeah. I gotcha.
Um, I guess if this thing next to me is still like a threat, then.
Yes, it still seems to be not neutralized yet, though it
All
is
right.
having trouble, we shall say.
Then once again, I am going to prep Searing Smite. With my bonus action. Uh, dirty 20. Yeah. So that's 9. So that's gonna be dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty 20 to hit. Meets it, beats it.
Okay, cool. I had to be sure that I could make that work with the -5 for Great Weapon Master active.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pulling out all the stops this time. I left off a lot of damage that I could have done last time. And I'm gonna burn my last 4th level spell slot for Smite. So that's I just need to jot all this down. So that's core attack plus fire damage, and then it's going to be 5d8. Okay, so that's 55 damage.
All right. With that, you smack into this thing with your glaive, and you just cleave an entire portion of the monster off, and it just kind of sloops off to the side, and you have completely bisected it into two different pieces.
Sweet.
All right. Anything else in your turn?
Um, I'm going to then start moving towards the next target. If there's another target that I can get to, I can make an attack action thanks to Great Weapon Master.
So on your side, there's the one crystal on your side. The two, the other crystals are on the other side. So there's only one active on this side. You can see a pedestal a little bit down where there is a crystal who has not yet activated, as well as
Okay.
the one that animated this corp is still perfectly fine and uninjured.
Is it like something that I'm supposed to be trying to break, or?
It was animating this thing, and it's still doing its thing. So
Uh, then yeah, I mean, I can move my full movement and then make another attack action.
go for it.
All right.
Because yeah, these crystals seem to be powering things, and as long as they're on, they're doing something.
19 to hit the crystal.
19 can hit a crystal.
All right. Uh, I cannot do smite and all that again because you can only do one attack per turn. But I can still use Great Weapon Master. And yeah, that's the extent of what I can do to boost it. So that's just a D10 roll. 23 damage.
23 damage to the crystal?
Yeah.
Yeah. With that, you swing through it and crash into this thing, and give me a dex save real quick, as it absolutely detonates in your face.
Dex save. Dex save. Okay. 23.
Okay. With a 23, you easily can evade the explosion and avoid taking the massive backlash of energy that comes pouring out of the socket where the crystal once was. The room is starting to shake. Pipes start bursting off of the walls and start emitting random, various colors of steam and whatnot into the room. Uh, Rocks start falling from the ceiling, and it is getting very, very unstable in here with that. But with that, the crystal in front of you, Shockland, the one that hadn't activated, does.
Got it.
So there are 2 dead crystals. One has been cracked, and one is now online, uninjured, and 2 are still offline.
Okay. That's it for my turn. I can't do anything else.
That's it for your turn. Alrighty, so the shambling mound in the middle is going to try and get himself back up. And he is going to try and have another go at Raoul again, because he was not happy about the way y'all's match ended. And he is going to attempt to grapple you. So I'm going to need an opposed strength athletics again, because this time you're ready for him. So he got a 21.
Got a 6 plus my. Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, 19. Yeah.
Okay. So he manages to grapple you, and he is going to just kind of. He's not going to try and shove you this time. He's going to bring the other hand around and just try and punch you.
Do it.
What's your AC here, real quick? What was that?
18.
Okay, so yep, he's going to hit Lee. And he's going to smack you in the face for 18 damage, as he just kind of slugs you.
Okay, I'm gonna use a battle maneuver. Which one is it called? I just have to remember which. I always forget. A parry. So I reduce the damage by the number on a D10 plus 2. Here's my D10. I got a 4. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I reduced it by 6 damage, so I take 12 damage instead.
Okay. All right. So yeah, he slugs you a good one with his other arm. And that's gonna be that shambling mounds. The chaotic one is just gonna continue to be chaotic. And okay. All right. So there is one mound still up, one that has gone haywire because its crystal has been destroyed, and one that is starting to form.
Which one did Icar Blight run into?
The one in front of you, I do believe, is
Okay.
the one Blight went after,
Sure.
which is next to the one that Akram shattered.
Gotcha. Okay.
And okay, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I got everything straight in my head real fast. All right. And so it goes to. We're going to go to Winifred. There is one grappling Raoul, and like I said, a newly activated crystal with a new mound forming.
We're gonna go after the new crystal.
Mm-hmm.
22? No, sorry. Dirty 20. Dirty 20.
Okay. That hits a crystal.
Right. 6, 11, 14, 20, 32, plus 5, 37 damage to the crystal.
Okay. Yeah, that one before it even gets a chance to really get going, you just kind of are like, all right, I get the idea here. Line up on it, and boom, that one pops with a mighty crackle, and yeah, that mound also starts to fall apart and lose its cohesion.
But you said that the crystals were like just coming up out of the wall, or
They're kind of like coming up out of a recessed like piece of machinery that's just kind of like, you know, like a panel's kind of revealing away from like a tube.
Hmm.
They're kind of like behind a cover. But you can see where all the machinery connects into these things, and you can see where they all connect in. So you can see those joints and points.
Would that be considered like a called shot with disadvantage to try to
That is
take out the joint?
that is exactly what I am kind of implying.
Okay.
If you
Um,
want to shoot the weak spots of the room,
I'm going to spend a grit point to give myself advantage to cancel out the disadvantage to make this just a flat roll.
go for it.
Good God. That is 16.
Okay. Yeah, you see a spot where all these crystals are kind of joining together. Where if you kind of hit there, you could disrupt the power to them all. You see it, you know it's there, but you're not can't quite hit it with a 16.
We're gonna do it again. Spending another grit point.
Go for it.
Oh,
Do
I
it.
can
Do it.
also. I've got.
Do we have any kind of inspiration?
I have luck
Use my
points.
bonus action, so I
So
can't give him anything.
because I rolled a 5, I'm going to spend one of my luck points, pick up a different die, and try that again. Shout out to the 2 crew.
Is this a save or is this?
No, I'm shooting with disadvantage to try to nip this in the butt. But I yeah, I that's gonna be it for me. And then I'm gonna hide again. Yeah, that'll work. It's a 30.
Uh, but with the telepathic link, you can point out to the rest of the group that hey, these piping around here disrupt these cables, and it probably will wreck the rest of this.
Yeah. Either we
You
can
can't
just
communicate that to the party though,
yeah, we can either keep just popping crystals as they show, or if we fuck with all of this, we might be able to stop it.
because you kind of know what happens at the end of the top of the turn order. Another crystal shows up. There is now one injured crystal, one active crystal, and one uncovered crystal, or one still covered crystal.
That means we've destroyed 3 of them so far.
Yep. You've killed 3, injured 1, and yeah, there's one active, one dormant.
Okay, so Winifred does point out where the weak spot is.
Yeah, you see her taking some shots, and you see her. You take 2 shots at it, so yeah, ping, ping. You can see up amongst the rat's nest tangle of cables, a big central, like power line that looks very important.
Okay.
All right.
Right. I am going to. He didn't actually grapple me, so I'm good to do whatever, right?
He's got you in a grapple, yeah. But we're at the top of the turn order. It's Akram.
Wait, is it not?
Yeah.
When
Oh yes, sorry. Yes, thank you. Never mind.
you're
Dummy.
good. They I thought that he failed his grapple on me.
Yeah, you are correct.
Yeah, but he hit me with the attack. Yeah.
He hit you with the
Yeah.
attack, failed the grapple.
Okay. So I am going to um uh look at him say, "Good hit. Time for a tag team." And just like a glowing hand like comes out and like tags me, and then as it touches me, it turns into a celestial. I'm casting summon celestial as my action. This thing is the defender mode, and does melee weapon attack to my spell attack modifier. So a hit does 1d10 plus 3 plus 5. So 1d10 plus 8. Just making sure. I don't see if it gets to act on when I summon it though.
Typically with summons, they fall into initiative order right after you. Isn't
Okay,
that the case? So typically he goes after you summon him,
perfect,
if
cool.
I'm
All right.
not mistaken.
Bonus action. My spiritual weapon is still out, so it's going to attempt to hit it. 18 plus 10, so 28 to hit.
That hits.
Hold on a second, gotta see. I think it's 1d8. Another one is an 8. 7 plus spellcasting ability modifier 4, so 11 damage to it.
All right. It smacks and this one's been beat up. It's starting to lose its cohesion as well.
That's great.
The blight really hurt.
Yeah. The he just called out where the things are. The how far away are these wires from me?
There's a wire running to each of the pillars, so you're right up next to one. There's, this wire runs to each one of them, so there's
Oh,
not one point around the room necessarily you
gotcha.
have to
Okay,
hit.
I understand.
Just
Yeah,
got to
yeah,
hit the
cool.
wire.
Will it take an action to pull that thing?
Go for it. Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't.
really right next to your foot, basically, at this point.
It doesn't take an action to pull.
Yes, it would take an action though.
Okay, then I will cast. I will not cast. I will use my
Second one, action surge. I mean,
action surge, yeah, to pull that thing out.
sorry, my brain is.
You're great, man. Yeah. So I use my second action to pull that thing out.
Gotcha. Yeah, with a mighty rip, you pull the plug on this whole contraption, and just with a mighty, all the shaking just kind of stops. All the machinery kind of slowly grinds to a halt, stops puffing steam, and the light that was kind of permeating the room kind of slowly fades out. The shambling mound that was kind of grabbing to you just kind of like freezes in place and just kind of slowly like puddles and melts to the floor and just kind of spills all over the place and just kind of returns to just being a mound of just gunk.
Gross.
And yeah, with that, the combat is over. This place is now eerily quiet. All the lights and machinery that was going before are now off and no longer active. Crystals that was flickering before that Ickerblight had stabbed kind of slowly fades out and goes back to being dormant as well.
I let Joe know that he's about to return to normal.
You don't see Joe.
Oh, well, he returned to normal wherever he is.
Okay. He has returned to normal.
He's still part of our telepathic bond, so
He's like,
I can talk to him anywhere in this plane.
that was an experience. I am unfamiliar with this place. I am not entirely certain how I came to be in this place. Would you?
You got a little carried away as a T-Rex. It's all right. We're heading your way.
Thank you. You realize that the worm is no longer in the hole and the hole is open.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's go down that hole.
Okay, so much for Dr. Ivor, King of the Worm.
I mean, we could just take the crystal, right?
We gotta at least get Joe out of the hole.
Well, yeah.
How to break his back. I don't think you understand how this works. God tells you to do something, you do it.
Yeah,
I've already
Anyways.
gone through that journey and I am over it. Like, I raided an entire planet of an undead civilization. Well, they were not an undead civilization. My whole planet became undead and I got rid of them all. So yeah, I did it.
So
I'm
you
done.
understand.
Yeah.
God tells you to do something, you have to do it. I gotta go break this guy's back.
Okay.
I literally just start strumming my mandolin and drop down the hole.
All right.
I'm under the effects of levitate, so I control how fast I descend.
Okay.
I
So
love
yeah,
this mandolin. It's great.
you descend down the hole. It's not a straight, downward path. The worm kind of went all over the place as it was coming up, but it goes down about a good 200 feet until you come to a massive just underground chamber. We're talking just huge pocket down here. Um, you can't really see the other sides with your vision. And yeah, there's just this big hole, and you kind of drift down. And at the bottom of it, you find Joe. There is a small like platform down here. More research equipment and whatnot has been brought down here as well. And Joe's just kind of sitting in the middle of this platform, just kind of sitting there bewildered. And he's just kind of like, "Ah, there you are. Your presence is reassuring.
Yep, told you we were coming to get you.
I I am not. I do not feel well. I believe an expression you had. It might be something I ate."
Yeah.
That happens. It's okay. You're gonna be just fine.
The sensation.
I give him a health potion. What happens?
He's restored to health. He was a little binged up and was missing a few HP. But you see his kind of green, turn get more vibrant, and as he kind of perks up, like little flowers sprout all over him. He's kind of a pretty colorful guy when he's fully bloomed.
Interesting.
He's just kind of like, huh, I feel so alive now. The voice is gone. I thought it would be difficult to live without it.
Oh, feels good, doesn't it?
Yes, yes. Though I'm not entirely certain where I am. Could you maybe assist with that?
Uh, does he have eyes? Like, can he see?
No, he's a plant man.
Oh, yeah, I can cast daylight.
Okay, that might work.
Daylight.
Huh, I could see that. That's nice. That's nice.
Shocklin just praises the sun.
But this giant cavern that you find yourself in seems to be a kind of natural formation. You can see around the walls of the place, you can actually see these giant bore holes where it looks like the worm has come and gone.
Okay.
But unfortunately, there is nothing to see of Ivor other than a few scraps of cloth sitting at Joe's feet. Uh,
Is that why he
down-
stopped cackling?
Joe ate something as a T Rex.
I thought I was talking about the worm. Yeah, Joe, do you remember the obnoxious voice suddenly shrieking like, "Get away, get away!" Anything like that before it went away?
Things were very confusing when I had eyes. It has lots of sensation. Uh, I believe the voice stopped. I did things and then the voice stopped. And I am satisfied with the outcome.
Raul, do you think your god is going to be okay with the fact that Joe broke Ivor's back? He
Probably okay.
he was the victim of Ivor's cruelty.
Oh no. Give me a minute. And cast divination. And ask Rugak if it's cool that my T Rex buddy finished the job instead of me.
You tagged him in, didn't you? Well,
Yeah.
tag.
Yeah.
What goes in a tag team's fair in a tag team.
There you go. All right, Joe. You and me, buddy, champs.
He just kind of sits there. He is unaware of high five.
I grab his hand and make him touch me.
He kind of feels you a little bit. Interesting. But huzzah! You have defeated the evil Dr. Ivor and his minions. You have collected your crystal and are free to do as you see please from this point.
We're just sitting on the platform that Tensor's floating this the whole time.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm assuming that's how everybody else got down here. I mean,
Gotcha.
it's big enough to carry all of y'all, so it was
Yeah.
500 pounds on the tensors.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. I thought it was like gonna be like one of those parts of those video games where like the floor falls out from under you and you get to slide down for.
Thought about doing that, no, but I had a bit more thing in that room and didn't want to take you out of there just yet. Built my boss room.
Guess we teleport back to the library with our crystal then.
Yeah. I just hold up the amulet of the plains. I bring Joe along with us, ask him if he wants to experience some more of the world while being able to come and see the light every once in a while.
He's like, I think I will take a different path. The rest of my people out front need me. I will tend to them.
Ah, understood.
Oh, King of Plant Men.
King. What is this king thing you speak of?
God, that might open up a can of worms. Oh, wait,
Uh,
no,
it's the person whose voice everyone else listens to.
The voice of authority. I can do this. And Joe turns and wanders his way back towards the entrance of the
right.
mine.
I grab Jeremy
Um,
before we leave and be like,
how many do I have
"Hey,
left?
you can go." Just like throw Jeremy up in the air.
Jeremy just kind of mouths at you and then poofs into a cloud of feathers and smoke and disappears.
I can heal 2 more of the plant people entirely. I can do
Okay.
remove curse twice more and lesser restoration twice more.
If you would wish to do so, you can go do that.
I'll do
But
that for Joe.
okay. Yeah, you
I,
follow him back out to the front entranceway, where he has kind of congregated the rest of his people. Now that Ivor is no longer yelling at him, they just kind of are, they do what they're told, kind of like little mindless drones.
uh,
As Shockland is doing this, Akram is just going to like intently watch.
Okay.
okay. Yeah, I basically just asked Joe, I was like, okay, the way that I made everything okay and not hurt for you, I can do that 2 more times before I'm out of magic.
That would be useful. What
Uh,
about this one? He points to a particular plant person.
remove curse, lesser restoration.
He points to a second one.
Boop boop.
That is
Both of
interesting.
them have the mushrooms fall off and all of the pain ends.
The three kind of guys all kind of like sit, and they kind of like just sit in like a circle for a second and kind of stare at each other. And then Joe's like, and then he, as like a single unit, the three of them kind of like turn, approach the rest of the group, and Joe turns to you like this, and performs the exact same spell combination.
Exactly like that. I knew you were a fast learner, Joe.
I'm a little scared of Joe now, guys.
Thank you for your assistance. We will not forget this.
Yeah, yeah. Just make sure you use this newfound power and authority for the betterment of you and your folks. Uh, and then I just hold up the amulet of the plains and go, all aboard to the library!
All right. Is there anything else you'll do before you depart? All right, and with that, with Shockland's plane of the amulet, you step through a gate and back into the familiar clutches of, well, familiar clutches, but you never know where you're going to end up in the library. Um, oh, you end
Thanks.
up back in one of the many sitting rooms of the library, and the librarian's like,
Ah, thank you. I see you were able to resolve that problem. I hope everybody's happy with our resolution.
Yeah. Uh, Raoul's sitting there. I guess you carried the gem. You're the only one big enough.
I mean, you did reduce it, so it's a little bit smaller now, but
Ah, yes. Hmm.
she gestures for an unseen servant to come and pick up the gem. It's like, yes, I will. We will see to this that it is put to good use. Uh, Thank you all for this task. There will be a. How many more of these objects did we have on our docket, Kyle?
Just one
Um,
more.
so if we're going back to originally, technically there's supposed to be 3 more, and then there was 2 more, and then technically 1 more.
Gotcha. So yeah, this was like where I kind of had my bit finished up. So you we'll pass the librarian over to you, and she'll be able to pick us up next time
Yeah.
for our next and final adventure.